Welcome back to the next episode of TONEX Minute, where I take you through one individual parameter at a time in TONEX that can be very helpful in learning how to properly use it and to shape our tone. Today we're going to be talking about the mid-band EQ control under the advanced settings. Now, this is not a setting that I hear a lot of people talk about, but it has three parts to it. So we're going to have the mid control, which is just going to basically be the amount of boost or cut we add to that frequency. We can also set the frequency between 150 hertz and 5,000 hertz. Anytime we are away from the default setting, we can double click to go back. And we're going to have the mid Q, which is going to be kind of like a bandwidth control that's going to determine how many frequencies are going to be affected. I think the best way to approach this is to actually show you a visual of what this is doing. So here we are over in Cubase, and I have an instance of isotope neutron EQ here. And basically, I have this bell style EQ setup. So you'll notice it has the same parameters as the TONEX one. We have the frequency we can set, we have the gain, and that's going to be just like our mid control here, how much boost or cut we're going to apply to that particular frequency. And we have a Q, just like we had over in TONEX. So basically, if we set this to, let's just pick a frequency, 1,000 hertz, and we boost this, let's go up, I don't know, 5 dB, let's say. And with this Q of 1, you're going to see that it has this shape like a bell, and that's why they call this a bell EQ. And you'll notice that when we set this to, let's say, 1.4, that there's a certain width to how many frequencies are going to be affected. If we set that somewhere else, you're going to notice when I lower that Q that it's going to now affect more frequencies, going out a couple octaves on each side. So from this 1,000 hertz, it's going to go all the way down an octave to 500, and then all the way down to another octave to 250. So you can kind of see that the lower this number, the more frequencies that are going to be affected, but the higher the number, much narrower the number of frequencies are going to be that are going to be affected. So we could use this to dial in or out a problem frequency. Let's say if we knew that there was a particular frequency that a guitar or a monitoring system was adding that we didn't want, or something that was maybe missing, we could come in and boost or cut that. Or if we just wanted kind of more of a general, gentle kind of approach to it, we could come in here and set this to, let's say, I don't know, in and around 1 on the Q, and then pick a frequency that we either need to boost or cut and go with it in that manner. So I think that visual just helps us to see what's going on. Today I'm playing a tone model that's from my latest vintage release. This is of my absolutely incredible 1961 brown face Fender Super Amp. These sound so beautiful. The links are below to these tone models if you're so inclined. Just really, really nice stuff. So coming in here now, we're going to set our mid at default. So this is actually as it's captured. When this is set to 5, this is with no alteration to how that tone was captured. Now, I don't think this tone really needs much of anything, but one thing that I like to do is come in here and go to extremes like I always do. Let's boost this up and see what happens when we boost up the 750 range. Go to the other extreme. Now, obviously, it's really hollowing things out. Now, what we're going to find with the Q is the higher we go, the less dramatic that's going to seem, because it's now filtering it down to a very small set of frequencies. You'll hear how things don't hollow out in the same way when I cut those. But if I do something extreme like this, you can see when I bring that Q down now, we're affecting a whole lot more frequencies. If we cut them, we really hollow out that mid-range. So that's a really interesting way to at least just experiment with what this is actually doing, not that we're going to actually do that. The other thing we can do is go to these extremes and then sweep through the frequencies. And that'll sometimes tell us what frequencies maybe are a problem, and then we can just adjust less of it. Or we want to be more surgical. You know, if we had a harsh sounding preset, we could come in here maybe around the 2000 hertz range, maybe with a Q of around 0.95 or 1, and then just cut it back a bit. Or maybe if we wanted to add a little bit of warmth, we could come in and around the 900 or 850 hertz range. Same with the Q, maybe around 1, and give that a little boost. Or if we found maybe that things were a little bit muddy, we could come in and around the 400 hertz range and cut a little bit of that out with the same sort of Q, maybe around, I don't know, 0.8 or so. But I'm actually really digging this right where it is. So we can make some really cool, subtle, or very overt changes using those three controls. But I think the most important part is understanding what they're doing. And I hope that today's video helped you to do just that. And hopefully that can be a tool that you can use if you do come across a monitoring system or a guitar or a tone model that does need a little tiny bit of help, maybe some correction in some frequencies that are overwhelming or underwhelming. And I hope that that helps you to get to where you have to be. Of course, it's always going to depend on what you start with. A tone model like this, which sounds great right away, may not need that. But if you use it through a different monitoring system that causes issues, then maybe you do need to apply a little of that EQ. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm going to leave you today with the demo video showcasing these tones in a full production. I hope you enjoy. The links are below. If you're so inclined and want to help support the channel, you can grab a copy of those. Thanks again for sharing your time with me. Please like the video, share it with anybody you think would get some use or enjoyment out of watching it. Also, please subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell notification to get notified when I put new content. I'll be back really soon with some more. Ciao for now.